Welcome. Hello. Welcome to Yoga for Recovery. And my name is Paul Warloski, and I'm with Simple Endurance Coaching. And every Monday at this time, at 7:30, we get together and we do some recovery yoga. It's 15 minutes, and that's it. We do a couple of poses. Tonight we're only going to be doing 2. And the goal is simply to start some recovery after a weekend of racing or training, putting in some miles on your bike or running or snowshoeing. We are in my garage studio, and it is about 4 degrees outside. I know in other northern Wisconsin it is way colder, but this is, it's cold enough. So I'm dressed. I got the gloves just in case. Tomorrow morning we have yoga for everyday athletes at 6 a.m. and it's going to be colder, and this garage will have nice, well, let's just say I'll be turning the heat on soon. All right, so let's just take a moment to get some breathing into our bellies. I'll be doing a bunch of posting on Simple Endurance Coaching on my blog about using breath to not only for practicing yoga, but practicing running or cycling and learning to breathe through your nose and the value of that. But that'll be coming up. Right now, all we're looking at doing is trying to breathe in through our nose into either our chest, hopefully our belly, and then letting our belly just relax, and the breath back out through your nose. And we'll just try a few of those breaths, about 5. Not so much to relax, but just to get your nervous system aware that something's going on. All right, let's do one more breath. So apparently there is another scorpion pose. There's one that we're going to do. And then there's like the one that's a really, really hard yoga pose that you're quite literally on your chest and your legs are touching, your feet are touching your head. I don't even know how you do that, but we are not doing that tonight. Uh-oh, there goes my microphone. Let's try this again. All right, so for our scorpion, we're going to come onto our belly and lie with your hands open and palms down. So since I'll be lying down, it's going to be a little more challenging to see what I'm doing. But once we get going, you'll understand. So palms are out, and we're going to use your hands as kind of supports, as it were, because what you'll do, we'll lift up my left leg, and we're just going to be bringing it over and rotating just a little bit. And then inhaling and coming back. And exhale and roll over. And just go with your breathing. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale. We'll do a few of these. Just move really slowly with your breathing. Try to continue to breathe into your belly, even though you're rolling on your belly. So the idea of this is that we're opening up our hips. We're creating a little bit of hip mobility, because we're feeling this in your inner thigh and in your lower back. And we're also opening up our shoulders a little bit with the rotation. So I know there was a huge gas race this weekend, fat biking, done by Wheel and Sprocket. That was up in Kewaskum, I think. I was hoping to do it, but it just did not happen this week. I did so much traveling during cyclocross, I was a little traveled out, but I'm going to do a couple fat bike races coming up. We've also been looking at what the gravel adventure schedule is looking like this summer. And obviously COVID puts a damper on things. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't say this out loud, but, I heard today that Omicron is supposed to start peaking at the end of January. There'll probably be some other variant that'll happen. We'll do one more on each side because I'm starting to open up a little bit. It's feeling kind of interesting. But we're looking at some adventures in May and in July up in northern Wisconsin. All right, let's come back and let's bring ourselves into a Sphinx pose just for a moment. And all we're doing in Sphinx is my elbows are underneath my shoulders, my hands are down, and this is going to be just a very slow movement pose. So the inhale is going to be just relaxing, and then the exhale will be lifting your head and trying to extend it as if somebody was pulling on it. Like when you're in trouble when you were young and your mom pulled on your ears to drag you back inside. I don't know what that was like. My mom never did that to me. And then just exhale into, you're essentially trying to lengthen your spine and to create space between your vertebrae. Obviously, you're not doing that, but you're trying to just lengthen it and just create a little bit of movement. All right. Now, we're going to come into a movement that I don't like, simply because it's just really hard for me. And but it's just such a good creator of mobility, and it goes along with what we were just doing. There's different names for it, but we're just going to call it a box stretch. There's an L stretch. And essentially, what we're going to be doing is, so my left leg is on the mat, and it's in a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to take my right leg and create a bunch of 90-degree angles as well. So my right leg is now at a 90. This is a 90. And I'm just going to move a little bit. So what's going to happen, the goal is that you want both butt cheeks on the mat. And what we'll do is we're going to lift up our knees, and this is where it gets really challenging. And rotate your hips so that your legs come to the other side. And now we have 90s going the opposite way. And then you can keep going. This is also part of animal flow. And then rotate all the way through. Now, for as uncomfortable as this pose is to start, it's one of those movements that gets easier as you go. And, like frog, like some of those other hip opening poses, they're really just not comfortable. But the more that you do them, the better off you get. So ideally, you do this without having your hands behind you, and you just flip your legs over. And some of my younger female clients are able to just flip, 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 flip. It's like, oh, I can't. And we're just going to keep doing this. So this is all we're going to be doing tonight, are the scorpions and this box sit twist. I think doing the hand all the way through is kind of an elegant way of making sure that it looks like we're using our hands for something besides supporting ourselves so that we don't fall over. I'm sure that's it. So I hope that we are all doing well. It is the cold of winter. It's supposed to be getting warmer as of tomorrow. We're supposed to get possibly snow on Friday. So things are looking up. I've been experimenting with Zwift racing. There's going to be a post on Simple Endurance coming out on Wednesday about that. And so the post on Simple Endurance is kind of like, here are lessons that I'm learning. And let's, share some ideas. There's a Zwift insider, and he gives a lot of tips, but his are really, really specific and in ways that I don't want to get that intense about this. Okay, let's do one more on each side, and then we're going to call it a night, and that's going to be it. Not because it's cold, because that's how we do things, is that we just keep it simple. We do a little bit of movement, and we're done. All right, so if you have questions, I'll stick around and answer any questions on the Facebook. Otherwise, tomorrow morning's class, 6 a.m. We also have a 6 p.m. on Thursday, yoga for everyday athletes. If you want to try out a class, simpleendurancecoaching.com/yoga. And then the code to get a free class is everyday athlete. And nope, it's not. It's everyday yoga. Try that as your code. Get a free class. You can come and watch me shiver for about half an hour tomorrow morning. We do mostly a flow class. And then tomorrow morning will be a lot of flow because I'm not going to sit around and hold poses for very long. It's going to be too cold. All right. Look forward to hearing any questions you might have. Take care of yourself, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow morning. Everyday yoga. That's your code. Take care.